Hey y'all, my name's Shanice. I'm a video editor and content creator in Los Angeles, and in this video I'm going to share with you guys some cool things you can do in InShot. Editing is so cool. InShot is a really cool app that I love to use in order to create social content and edit my videos. If you're just getting started with editing your social content or editing videos in general, I highly recommend InShot. It's super user-friendly, very easy to use, and very simple to understand. If you haven't checked out my previous video where I went through some of the basics about using InShot, make sure you check that out. But in this video, we're going to go through some more tips and tricks with using InShot that I'm sure you'll be able to use when you're making your videos. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is open InShot, and I'm going to just open a project that I've already been working on. All right, so the first thing I want to share with you guys is how to add transitions to your videos. Transitions are a really cool way of just making your video look more lively, especially if you're just getting started with editing. When you're learning to even record itself, sometimes there are things that may become a little choppy and may not look as clean. So adding transitions is also a great way to just cover up any mistakes from the end of one clip to the beginning of another clip. And this is how you add transitions on InShot. Do you see the white boxes that are in between each clip that's cut? That is actually what you'll select to select a transition. So what I'm going to do is select that white box and the transition boxes come up. So when you select the white box, you'll see that there's a bunch of transitions that pop up within the transition section. There's so many that you can choose from. Now, if you have the free version of InShot, just like me, you'll only have access to the basic transitions. However, if you're down to spend a little change for the complete version of InShot, you're allowed to have access and use all of these other amazing transitions that are here, and you can use them to kind of go from one end of a clip into another. There are so many cool apps to choose from, like Ripped Paper, like how fun is that? Dissolve, really cool, that goes into the next one. Slice, like, okay, if you're getting started with editing, I definitely know that you'll have a lot of fun using the transitions. So let me show you how you add them. So for this, I'm going to just stick with my basics bar, pick the transition of your liking. You'll select the time that you want it to play, and then you'll select the check. Perfect. A single check mark means that that change is only going to be selected to that one clip. If you wanted this to be added throughout all of the clips, that's when you would select the double check mark, and it will ask you if you want to apply it to all. You'll select that, and as you can see now at the bottom, everything has been applied to the video. Another cool thing that's super popular in social media videos are the voice effects. Voice effects are hilarious inside of videos because they literally change the sound of your voice. So you're going to scroll all the way to the other side of your toolbar until you see something called voice effect. You're going to select voice effect, and there are a bunch of characters and sounds that you can use to change your voice within the app. So I'm going to select the alien, and then I'm going to click the check mark. Now that we have the voice effect selected, I'm going to go to my music tab, and I'm going to select record. There's going to be a countdown, and we're able to just record whatever we want. Hey guys, I'm doing a voiceover right now for this video where I'm going to be filling up my new puppy's toy box with a bunch of toys. Once I'm satisfied with my voice recording, I'm just going to hit stop, and I'll select the check. Now you see that there's a voice recording bar in red right at the top. You're going to make sure that's selected, and you're going to scroll all the way over to voice effect. I'm going to hit the voice effect that I would like to add to my video, and I think I'm going to go with the alien.
Hey guys, I'm doing a voiceover right now for this video where I'm going to be filling up my new puppy's toy box with a bunch of toys.
Once you're satisfied with the sound, you'll just click the check again, and that's it. If you record a sound the way we just did, you're going to want to make sure your voice recording itself is selected in order to add the voice effect to it. All right, the next thing I want to share with you guys is how to add blank space within a video. So say you're recording a video and you know you want to add something within a certain space, but you don't know exactly what. InShot allows you to upload blank footage to kind of just be a placeholder for any footage that you're thinking about adding, or just a placeholder for maybe some text that you want to add, or etc. What you'll want to do is move your cursor to a place where you think you want to add some blank video space. Once you've selected where you want it to be based on the playhead, you're going to select the plus button right here on the left side, and you're going to select blank. That will then populate this blank space right here in between your shots. You can literally treat this the same way you would a regular clip, where you can make it shorter or make it longer, extend it for however long. You can move it to different parts of your video. If you don't want it to be there, you want it to be here, or you want it to be over here. All right, the next two things I want to share with you guys are some of the most important things when it comes to editing on InShot. The first thing is saving your work. If you close your app by mistake, sometimes InShot will not save your work, and this is an editor's worst nightmare. Please always save your work. Even if you're in the middle of it, just save it and come back into it. That way you can always pick up where you left off. That's an editor key right there. What I'm going to do is select this arrow right here in the left. And as you can see, two options will pop up, draft or discard. In order to save, always select draft. If you want to go back to your draft, you'll just select video, and it should be the first video right here in white that you can easily go back to. Exporting your video is also super important, because this is how you get your video from InShot onto your camera roll. You're going to select this arrow with the box right here, select that. And as you can see, a bunch of options also pop up. The biggest one saying save right at the top. But before we click save, there's just some things that we should go through before you export. It's important to understand what your resolution, your frame rate, and your format are set to. That way you can export to the best standards of your upload. For resolution, always at 1080, especially if you shot in 4K. This is actually key, because a lot of social media sites like Instagram and TikTok actually compress your video. So even though you shot in 4K, they will automatically compress it to 1080. So if you've ever shot a video in 4K, which was like the greatest quality, and you notice when you uploaded it that it kind of didn't look as clear, it's because they always format down to 1080. So your best bet is take your 4K video footage and do it inside of InShot to compress to 1080, and it'll automatically be set that way, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you wanted to change it, you have the option of either uploading from 480p all the way to 4K. The next one is frame rate. Frame rate just basically means how fast or how slow your video is shot in, and that's something that you control while you are shooting as well. InShot automatically has export settings set to 30 frames per second, but you are also allowed to change this to your liking, all the way from 24 frames per second to 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second is ideal, but it does take up the most space on your device, so I always like to export at 30 frames per second. And the last thing you can check is your format. So there's two formats that you can select on InShot. You can choose MOV or MP4. So at the bottom also you can see the estimated size of your file, which is also really cool, because you'll be able to see how much space a certain file may or may not take up. As you can see, this one says 15.6 megabytes. Pretty small, honestly, so it won't take up that much space. But once all these things are good to go, all you're going to do is select save, and it'll bring you to a page that automatically loads all the way to 100%. And this is what it'll look like when it's automatically saved, and you can go to your camera roll and check, and it should be the last thing that has been uploaded to your camera roll. The next thing is how to mark keyframes on InShot. Keyframes basically allow you as the editor to make changes within a clip without changing the clip altogether, only certain parts of the clip. So as you can see, I have this clip of my puppy. I want my clip to zoom in at a certain part of my video. So what I'm going to do is select my clip, and you'll know it's selected when there's a white box around your video. I'm going to scroll all the way here to about here and select the triangle and plus sign. From the beginning of my video up until this point, my video will not move. Now I'm going to scroll past my first keyframe that I made, and my marker is now in a different section of my video. I'm now going to just pull in my clip a little bit. As you can see, once I made a certain change, another keyframe has been made. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, there's just a little zoom in. I kind of want to make that zoom a little longer, so I'm going to delete the previous keyframe that I made. So all I'm going to do is just move my cursor over to the previous keyframe. It'll be highlighted blue. Now I'll select the triangle minus sign to get rid of the keyframe. I'm going to scroll my cursor over a little bit more to maybe right here, and I'm going to just expand my video as I did before. And another keyframe has automatically been made. Now I'm going to scroll to the beginning and watch. And as you can see, it's a slow zoom in. Here's a more complex idea of a video keyframe that you can do. So I'm going to start my video here. I'm going to move in like this. I'm going to scroll a little bit more. I'm going to move it out. I'm going to scroll again, move it in. I'm just going to keep doing that until I get to the end of the clip. Now, when I go back and watch my video, you see how it kind of has a little bit of a bounce. Keyframes are really cool because you build effects within your video as opposed to just having effects that are pre-made within the app. So once you get used to using keyframes, you can do so much with it and you'll feel more confident with your editing. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning some more cool tips and tricks with using InShot. When it comes to video editing, you really just have to make the time to play around within the app. So make sure to carve out some time so you can implement some of these tools and learn new things along the way for yourself. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss another one of my editing videos. Also, follow my social content pages, and if you see any videos that catch your liking that you would like a tutorial on, please let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!